AskReddit by RealHDNA. What screams this person peaked in high school to you? Hey girl, hey. Do you wanna be your own boss babe while working from home and it's just a pyramid scheme? I never associated pyramid scheme people with having peaked in high school before, but it makes total sense. Totally explains the girl I know who has gone through probably a solid dozen MLMs in the last few years, and still acts like a teenager. I had a conversation in a bar with a drinking buddy years ago. The guy kept going on about the one that got away, how perfect she was in their chemistry together, how natural it was, how he hasn't felt that way about any girl since, yada yada. He was feeling pretty sorry for himself and uninterested in meeting anyone else because they could never compare. When I asked how long ago it was that she moved away, he said 8th grade, LMFAO. Oh, that's awful. I graduated in 05. I was sitting at a tire shop waiting for my truck to get done and an employee slightly older than me walks up to me and asks me, with no previous interaction, if I played football in high school. Wondering where this was going, I responded that I did, but I wasn't great at it. He asked what school I went to, and I told him. Then he starts talking about himself. How he was all confidence and walking me through all of his high school accolades. I never asked for this conversation. I just sat there wondering why this nearly 40-year-old, wildly out of shape, tire shop supervisor was telling me all of this. Then just as soon as it started he bid me good day and walked off. It was bizarre. The best comparison I could make was that he was like the manager Dan from the movie Waiting. That was his vibe. That's how I knew he peaked in high school. How do you know if someone peaked in high school? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Still acting like a typical mean girl when they're damn near, or past, 30. They just graduate from mean girl to mean woman. I think some people are just mean. Bragging about high school hookups in their 30s. Deleted. My ex-stepmother constantly bragged about being a cheerleader in high school and winning a beauty walk in a town of like 500 people. She was still bragging about these the last time I saw her. She was in her mid-40s. Miss Baltimore Crabs. One guy I knew literally got our school emblem and mascot in a huge class of 2010 tattooed on his shoulder. Did he graduate on time? Regularly reposting the same picture of the one notable moment that they had in high school. You wanna watch me throw a football over those mountains? Anyone who bullies other adults as if they were still in high school. Or people who used to beat up others and call it the good old days. Ridiculing the hobbies of others to make yourself look good. Death this. People cared way too much and this will make or break our decision to like or dislike you over choice of hobby when I was younger and my peers were also elementary, middle shoe, high school aged along with me or whatever. Like if I chose to be into Pokemon or Magic, some other clique I already didn't care about freaked out about it toward me while I just went okay, I'm going to go have fun with my friends. As an adult I realize no one cares that deep and people just freely enjoy whatever they choose. These are the best years of your life on repeat. Almost 10 years after high school a guy asked me if one of my friends was popular in high school. Was he? The people that ask you to join those MLM schemes selling body wraps or the like. Anyone that has a Salt Life decal on their car when they live nowhere near the ocean or even a salt mine. Or even a salt mine, huh? I like that. Never even considered that to be an option. Edit, misquoted, took out near. Still going to every high school football game and sitting in the student section. Living their dreams through their kids. We have a lot of that in my town. Trying to redo it all again. It is a lot. It makes me roll my eyes a lot. My kids enjoyed high school. It was fun watching them dance, do band and play football. But I was not invested in it as if it was happening to me. I wanted it for them, good things. But if it didn't, I prepared them for that too. When my son's team lost the state championship game his senior year after the team winning the 5 years before and 3 years after, I watched a guy go off on his kid because it was his job to win it. WTAH. My son was devastated. But he still had amazing things to come and has went on to do amazing things. Yeah, he looks back and hates their loss, but it was a teaching moment. When the former high school bully you beat in a karate tournament with an illegal face kick shows up at your business and all your employees know exactly who he is. And you help train a bunch of kids in karate to beat his students, leading to massive violent clashes that injure and damn near paralyze people. Undeterred, you continue because that rivalry is really all you have going for you, despite having a seriously fucking hot wife, successful business, and decent life. Talking about high school in every conversation and gossips like a high schooler. They keep insisting for the next 30 years that they would have taken state if coach would have put them in the game. The man scored 4 touchdowns in one game at Polk High. I used to work with a guy, we used to call him Roid Rage. He was very muscular, very masculine, and let everybody know both those things about him constantly. One day I'm sitting next to him in the break room and he's talking to me, unprompted as always, about how he went to attend an award ceremony for his son who won something regarding his football performance. I said, well, that was nice of you to go and support him. Nice, he said. It was fucking sad, man. That used to be me. Now I'm the old guy in the room who has to watch someone else win something I should have had and all I could think was, what a loser. You can't just be happy your son won this award and be proud of him. You have to make it about you. That's a really depressing mindset to have, especially with your own child. In my experience, it's the people that talk about things that happen in HS as if it were yesterday. Constantly. I had an ex who would always tell me crazy stories. I'd ask, when did this happen? She would say sophomore year and we were mid-20s. Over time, it became clear that HS was the best years of her life and most likely will continue to be, as she didn't have much ambition after HS. I had one good year in HS and reminisce about it every now and then, but it is not on the forefront of my mind. Most of my time in school is a big foggy coalescence of unpleasant emotions and the occasional embarrassing memory that springs up as I'm trying to fall asleep. I know a guy pushing 40 that still wears his varsity Letterman jacket. Constantly talking about their high school sport experiences. Buddy, you're 32. Nobody gives a flying fuck that you lettered in lacrosse and basketball. When you're 50 years old and you still talk about all the parties you went to in high school. That is my father. Context is very important. I'm happy to walk down memory lane with the right group of people. There's some good stories in there. But you gotta be careful. Taking rec league softball way too seriously. I played college hockey, haven't played in 10 years. Played a men's league game the other day and a 40-year-old tried to drop the gloves with me and all I could do was laugh. They want to organize high school reunions every 5 years. And say bad things on social media about people who can't or won't come. Sorry, but it was a 6-hour drive and I haven't spoken to anyone from high school in over 20 years. Under college university in their Facebook profile, it says School of Hard Knocks. Presidency at None of Your Business Incorporated. It doesn't get better once you grow up. I told a sub-teacher at my school that people told me this all the time and she told me the only people that say that are the ones that peaked in high school. I miss her every day. One of my high school teachers explained it like this: don't let anyone tell you that these are the best years of your life. It's a lie. Your high school years actually suck. If you go to college, you'll make friends with people based on shared values, not because you've been in the same school since grade 1. You'll have more fulfilling relationships, more freedom, and as the years go by, more discretionary income. And just when you think it can't get any better, your children grow up, move out of the house, and leave you with the freedom and time and money to do damn near anything you want. But you'll never be this thin or pretty again. So enjoy that. Any amount of participation in a MLM scheme. This is so sad. I remember when I was active duty military and nearly every one of my buddies' wives were in some sort of MLM, and I just deduced they were either in a shitload of debt, as, at our rank at the time, we make a decent wage, or the wives were just extremely bored because they are all Sams or housewives and have nothing to do while husband is deployed training tad etc. This is a weird thread, because I've grown a lot as a person since high school, but life has been unkind to me since then. I look at high school and realize that life was the most stable and kind to me back then. I think the difference is that peaking in school denotes not moving on and living in the past, while school being the best, most stable time of your life is more about the drawbacks of responsibility, not the rejection of them. My sister is one of these. Most frustrating are these moments. Oh, you were never good in math. Me. I have a degree in robotics, a very math heavy subject. Oh, well, I took a high school math class that earned me college credit, so that is better than what you have. Me. You are comparing one high school class against an entire college degree. Oh, I earned college credit. Me. Maybe, at most, 3 hours. And you would have to find a school that would accept those hours, and you graduated over 20 years ago. What you have is pointless. My only criticism is you haven't built a robot which can stop her. But all he kept talking about was glory days. Well, they'll pass you by. Glory days in the wink of a young girl's eye. Glory days, glory days. I literally went to HS with people who wound up like the people in this song.